Members of the Shaniya Davis Task Force received confirmation from the State Medical Examiner's Office on the ruling on the manner of the death of Shaniya Davis as a homicide.
You're charged with first-degree murder.
You did engage in human trafficking with a child as the victim.
They've already alleged that they've got sufficient evidence that she did the unimaginable, something that's arguably evil, to take your own child and prostitute your child out.
She's clearly a sociopath. We don't really know. There's been questions of drug use and so forth. But, I mean, this crime is horrific.
Antoinette Davis and Mario McNeil have been together. They've hung out together. There may have been a debt that needed to be paid. We are understanding that she may have owed him money.
I feel robbed, and I feel Shaniya was robbed.
Do you regret the decision? Have you sat there and gone, gee, if I'd only realized this or that in terms of a red flag?
I do, but, we obviously make decisions in life that sometimes have repercussions or adverse situations.
Everyone, joining me live here on our set is our very special guest. Shaniya's father is with us, Brad Lockhart, joining us tonight in a primetime exclusive. He is also taking your calls. Also with him, his attorney, Mike Freed, a renowned attorney in the Jacksonville, Florida area. Mr. Lockhart, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
I've watched you so many times, over and over and over. I've seen you upset. I've seen you crying. I've seen you angry. What stage are you at now?
I'm still filtering through it. I don't exactly know where I'm at mentally or physically. Moments I'm feeling strong, moments I'm feeling weak. There's times I feel vulnerable. But I know there's a lot of people depending on me, not only the people that's attended Shaniya's funeral or that's reached out to me, but children out there are needing a voice, and I think I need to be that voice.
Mr. Lockhart, they really do. They need your voice. And that is something that you can latch on to, something to make you strong. I remember when my fiance was murdered, I can hardly remember the scenario around it, but I knew that I had to represent crime victims, and it changed my whole life. What is your most vivid memory of Shaniya?
I used to sit in my recliner all the time and flip through the channel, and Shaniya would always come to the left side of it and just put her hands on the top of the recliner and look over my shoulder and would always give me a kiss and jump on my lap and just tell me she loved me and just lay there for a little while before it was time for her to go play with her Barbies or something else of interest came across her.
What was her favorite things to do?
Well, she liked to color. She was a typical little girl. She had a little tomboy in her, so she was learning how to ride her scooter, running into the cars, of course, scratching them up. Just real energetic. She loved to play dress up and Barbie and have girl time. Like my son said, she's really welcome into women, not as welcome into men, of course.
My daughter's the same way, the same exact way. Of course, Lucy's only 2. When you look back on what's happened the last few weeks in your life, does it even seem real?
It hasn't said, and it seems so unreal.
Have you even been able to bring yourself, Mr. Lockhart, to think about punishment for the man that killed your daughter and your former girlfriend, who police say are responsible for handing her over for sex, 5 years old?
It's crossed my mind, however, just my faith in the Lord, and I've always had limited faith in the justice system.
Well, I can understand that.
However, the police department has been working very diligently. I've met with most of the team.
They really have.
And they've put a lot of man hours into this.
I think they cared so much about this case, and it struck me, Mr. Lockhart, that they all had to have grief counseling when Shaniya's little body was found. And they were so involved in trying to find your girl.
They worked very hard, and they're still working hard.
This is what I don't understand, and maybe they've told you. They certainly haven't told me, although I've asked. Why isn't the mother charged with felony murder? I mean, according to police, she handed your baby girl, beautiful, 5 years old, Shaniya, for sex, to prostitute her out. A 5-year-old girl for sex. She handed her mother. That's a felony. And a death occurred. A death occurred. That is textbook felony murder. Have police or prosecutors said anything about charging the mother?
They haven't told me anything at this time. The only thing they have told me is that they're continuing the investigation. They're kind of tight-lipped on some areas, which I understand that they have to, and nothing needs to leak out, because then there's the possibility that they're walking out on some loophole or something. We don't want that to happen, so I'm just...
Well, here's the reality, Mr. Lockhart. If it were to leak about which direction your case were going, I'm not asking you to blurt it out on the air. The worst thing that could happen is a change of venue, which the defense is going to ask for anyway. Of course there's a chance of some kind of prosecutorial misconduct charge, but I don't think that would happen. Everyone with me is a very special guest, Mr. Brad Lockhart. This is Shaniya's father, her biological father that loved her so very dearly. To your lawyer, a well-known lawyer in the Jacksonville area, Mike Freed. Mike, have they told you anything about whether they're going to seek the death penalty on this guy?
Well, the indications are that they're going to seek the death penalty on McNeil. Obviously, they have a long way to go, and we have every reason to think they're doing things in a proper way.
A long way to go to make the decision about whether they're going to seek the death penalty?
Well,
why?
Well, I think the indications are that they are. You asked a good question about Shaniya's mother.
And you're a very good lawyer because you're changing subjects, but I'm going to go with it. Go ahead.
Well, what I think is great is that they're using the words human trafficking. That's something that you don't hear enough of. There have been very few prosecutions in the United States, and it is a crime that is rampant. Obviously, this is an example that has shocked the consciousness, as well it should, but sadly it's not unique.
The whole thing has just broken my heart about Shaniya. Very quickly, Matt Zorel, what's happening with the mother?
Well, Antoinette Davis has been moved to a different facility, a women's correctional facility in Raleigh. They have a lot more amenities, but she's being held there to keep her safe from herself and from others. Now, we don't know if she's been directly threatened, but they are concerned because of her pregnancy.
Back to Mr. Lockhart. Do you dream about Shaniya? Do you think about her all during the day?
All the time, and she's part of the reason why I think I'm staying so strong and reaching out to the Lord and reaching out to Shaniya to be a voice for her to stop this. I've reached out and spoken with some groups, SCT Now, Stop Child Trafficking Now, and we're going to continue to push hard.
And we are going to publicize his mission. As we go to break, happy 86 to Alabama friend Doris. Here she is surrounded by 8 grandchildren. Happy birthday, beautiful